I'm in A major in case you wanted the violin. Want a bit of a drum?
Don't mind if I do.
it again. Here with my friends. My name's Q. On left is Lauren, Mikey. We got Cameron. If there's one thing that's understood, it's gotta be good. Literally single words. Changes kept coming up to me. On and on, these changes, something like that. Anything come to mind? He's holding this. Bit of a pretzel, huh? Twisting my coppers, hoping there's no cops. Sitting in jail, hey. Trippy for you? Ready for an E minor?
So we're here. How does it feel?
Hey, it's good. It's good to start with an A and then end with an E minor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Thank you both for making it out to this one. This
Yeah,
is
kind of awesome.
Thanks for inviting me out.
Yeah, so very off the cuff. I was, all right, if I start?
Go for it, man.
Came back from Barrie at Kempenfest, Kemp something.
What's that?
I keep messing. It's a name of a lake, and I make it sound German, but it's not.
I was gonna say it sounds German.
It's like definitely like Kemptonsville, or I don't know what.
Kemptonsville.
It really pulls me into that, so I'll blame it on the name. I was there for 4 days and just jamming on this. People do cider tasting, and I'm the guy that plays, and just finished that. And you gave me a ring on the way from Barrie to Collingwood to see my dad in Feversham, and you're like, hey, it's got to be good. And all I hear is whisper, whisper, whisper. You want to come on out? Tuesday, I'm free. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So it was so off the cuff. Just start
Here
going.
we are.
And yeah, and then, hey, Mike, you want to come on out? I'm
said,
free.
yep.
Lauren, you want to come on out? I had to pay you a little bit, but you really weren't into it.
Hey, to be honest, I didn't think he meant today. He sent me a voice memo.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, we're going to do it soon. I'm like sick, thinking maybe like 2 weeks-ish.
Yeah.
Camp's like, today!
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sure, why
Yeah,
not?
you usually give people 4 months notice, but it was tomorrow.
Diving right in, man. We're diving right in.
Yeah.
How was your trip? How was it?
Honestly, I'm really happy that I found, because these are people that want to hear music, that and the guy that hired me, he respects what it means to come on out and do this, and he put it's like you get put up for 4 nights in an Airbnb.
Nice.
Food's covered, gas covered. Your performance is 30-minute sets for 3 hours. 30-minute, take a break, 3 blah blah blah. And yeah, the people that come out, they love hearing it. They want to request, and they all love 70s, and it's like finally.
Perfect.
So I'm right next to winos and next to the cider people. It's along the river. There's kids screaming at their mom, and they just want to have a sip of cider, and I'm the guy that's there to ease it off. So yeah, it was great. Got to see my family for a window. Came like a bat out of hell from Barrie, and then landed here in Wally World. Saw my daughter, had an awesome time. Went to the rehearsal with the band, and now I'm here. So it's just been it's good. So honestly, just been working on a lot of open tunings and some instrumental, and it's nice to have a violin and some drums and just bare bones and 3 chords and the truth.
Yeah, trying it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've spoken. That's
cool.
That's
what we did on previous episodes that probably will never be released, we don't know, is we would do like a check-in. So that's kind of, we'd just like check in, how you doing? How are things? What's on your mind lately? Kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
well, I think it was like, what are you checking in physically, mentally, spiritually?
There it is. Yeah.
And I think there was another aspect, like aspirationally, like what's kind of, or
where you headed?
Yeah, where you headed kind of thing. So I didn't follow that format, but yeah. Cool. It's easy. Did you want to go next?
Yeah, we can do clockwise.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, ask me a question to start off.
Oh, I guess I want to do that check-in?
Yeah. Check in with us.
Okay.
How you doing physically?
Physically.
How you
Let's
do
start
mentally?
with physically.
Okay.
Let's start with physically. I feel so strong right now.
Oh, good.
I feel really strong, and that's very nice because the last 4 weeks I felt very weak.
Oh yeah, you were like sick for a bit, right?
I was sick, and then lady cycles happen, and I felt like it was kind of a setback. I restarted a little bit, but it's good because you kind of bring your intentions back to the bare bones. You're like, okay, so how did I veer off track? How can I get back on track? Where do I need to shift the track? But physically, right now, at this moment, very strong, very good.
Right on.
Yes. I've been working on planning a mural.
Yeah,
I'm painting a mural, and I'm so excited. Next week. Next week is...
I'll be there.
You'll be there. Yep. I'm hoping you'll be there. You are welcome to be there.
I'll come up.
Yeah. My friend Tina and I have been working on this for a while. Very new medium, so it'll be very flowy. We're trying to be as flowy as possible. For these things, you kind of have to plan a little. So.
And it's not just any mural too. It's like gonna be immortalized in your hometown, like on a wall,
Yeah.
like along the river, like it's a view.
Yes.
They
like
pulled the
people-
crow down, so get ready.
Yeah.
There's a longing.
Yeah.
That was rough.
That was a rough
Actually,
That was a rough period for Chatham.
Yeah.
it's behind the river rock, and it's right beside the garden. And I kid you not, Tina and I did not plan this. We're making like a river garden, pretty much. So I'm big on my fish right now.
Yep.
I've been painting a lot of fish. And she's very well known for her flowers. We're like, you know what? If we have to plan something, let's do what we're best at and start there. And then afterwards, I made the correlation. I'm like, oh my God, Tina, did you know? We're painting on the river rock right beside the garden. We're painting a river garden. Yeah, mind blown. Hey?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's part of your biography now. You know.
Yeah.
You can't make that up.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, I want to speak on this for a second because I started off very strong with the, what is it called? Triskelion?
Yeah, Triskelion.
Yes. So it reminded me of triads and kind of going back to the bare bones of where I am right now, of kind of like stripping everything back and restarting. And when I think of that, I think of triads. You've got, you know, your number one, your number two, and your number three, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. You know, you've got the father, the mother, the child. It's kind of the foundation of everything. So, yeah, you brought in your cool copper
Yes.
Yeah,
copper
triskelions,
lines.
and I was like, shit, this fits. So,
Took like I nudged you a little bit on the idea. Buddy starts his company.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you heard of electroculture? He's like, yeah, I know a little bit. I'm like, oh. I send him like, I think, what was it, like 40 hours of random videos?
Oh, probably.
already,
something like that.
already ahead of the curve. I'm like,
that's awesome.
You created a monster.
I love it. I love it. It takes nothing. I just have you
You've
seen,
encouraged the monster.
I'm like, have you
He's
seen
already
this?
monster.
Boom. I'm like, oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
It was kind of just like a nudge towards that way. Because like I've been kind of, researching into that kind of, electroculture and just more like etheric kind of ideas like that. We're working with vibrations and that. And then that kind of just pushed me to like actually do it. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to actually do it now.
Yeah,
So,
Sometimes you need that push. Right?
and like,
Q's good at
I'm in
pushing.
deep. Like I'm kind of in deep on it right now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just there. It's my happy place.
I just
kinda,
want you to
yes.
sink into the waters, and then when I can't go that far now, you're on your own.
Yep, I'm there.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
Before we go too far,
Yeah.
didn't want to jump yet.
Yeah, do yourself.
Oh no, jump, flow. I'm good. I've said what I had to say. Yeah.
Well, you got jumped.
Consider yourself jumped. Physically, how you feeling?
Physically, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm staying on my feet. That's pretty good. I'm,
2 feet and a heartbeat?
2 feet and a heartbeat. Yeah, yeah. Moving along. Wake up every morning, go to work, then come back and make some cool stuff. I got enough energy to, craft and stuff. So that's been pretty good. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling physically, I guess. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Mentally, I've been feeling pretty good there
I
too.
knew it. I knew it.
You knew it?
I knew it.
Pretty good.
I could tell. Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't have many more words than pretty good, I guess, for describing
It's
how
gotta be
I
good.
am.
I mean,
It's gotta be good.
good. All good.
There you go. It's got to be good. Yeah. I think, mentally I'm pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. There's not much really crazy going on right now other than, making flutes and stuff.
That's crazy though. I don't do that. So to me, that's like impressive. That's amazing.
Is that more recent?
This is like,
Freaking nudged him on the flute.
yeah, nudge me on the flute. And, this,
Well, Stefan Rinsing, you got that one coming up, right? You ordered a drone flute.
Yeah, I do. That's probably in like 3
Get ready.
more weeks, something
Like
like,
the
that.
double barrel?
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
about that.
I don't know why I didn't bring it in. It's in the car, but yeah, that
That's
double
okay.
barrel is gonna
Um,
that's gonna set you off.
Oh, I'm very excited for that. And I'm excited to, get more inspiration from that too, right? Like playing that, and then it's like, I wonder how it would sound if I did it like this. And it's like, I can grab a piece of bamboo and like test different fingerings and get those notes and those scales that I want. Now I haven't added any scale to this flute yet, so I don't know what key it's gonna be in. Like it's gonna be a low D. I think it's a low D right now. It's like very close. I don't know where to put the fingers to make it into a proper scale, so I'm scared to touch it because it's sounding like
it's already got such a good tone.
Yeah, it's got a nice tone to it right now.
Can you play it?
I can.
Play a note or whatever.
Yeah,
is it just one note?
Just the one note.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of pressure for the one note.
Yeah, there really
Oh,
is.
snap!
be
It's so
good.
on.
Yeah, you're close to D, so you might be in alternate.
It's
Do you know if you're
just
in?
flat.
So
of
are you
D.
in 32, 4/3? Because usually when you flatten it like that,
I think
it's
it
just
was-
off concert pitch.
Okay, I think
I mean, I'm no Jacob Collier. I don't have perfect pitch, but it's nice that you got it down low.
it is. Yeah, it is very low. I don't know exactly how low though. Yeah, I would like to get it mint though soon. I don't know where mint would be. Where would mint be for D? 342.
Oh, you're
340.
you're out of my element when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Five
it's
to
weird
minutes.
actually. It's
Yeah.
like it's not even straight in there, but it still works. See how it's like.
Yeah, story of my life.
That is so cool. Still works.
Still works.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to. I
That
guess
is
I
so
kind of
cool.
veered off from the full check into.
Well, part
what
of it
I'm
is like
doing.
where you headed, and that's kind of cool. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of what's exciting you right now. It's pretty sweet.
And just like instruments in general, like
This thing, I don't know. You gave it away.
Oh, it's
I
hard.
love that
it's,
thing.
I know it's
I haven't even seen you
it's
play
been
it yet.
difficult watching. You
Yeah.
know, it's my ex. She's found somebody new. You know, and it's nice to see that you got. It's nice to see that you treat her good.
I do.
No,
I treat her with respect.
it's not. Yeah, no, oh, it's awesome. The space drum, well, the handpan. So originally I won that at an auction, and I was pinching pierogies at the time. Got the drum. Years went by. Loved playing it, but I would always perform it at shows. And actually, Mike, you would always come out. Mike, sorry, I don't know how.
Either or.
Either or. He would come out to the Rock and Royal, and that was the time when I would play a lot of the acoustic stuff. But it was the one venue that wanted to hear the space drum, the didge, the flutes, and you'd come out to a few of them. I even got you like a bongo time, and you're jamming in for like 2 hours with that.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and that kind of locked in that was like your eye was on that, and honestly, I've been meaning to change it up to either get a digital one, which is sacrilegious. I know, but then I can.
There's digital ones.
There's digital ones.
I guess there's like digital of everything.
And it's in
now.
Europe, so leave it to the Europeans to know how to do that. Is either that or go to Hamilton, and a friend that's also who makes them handmade. I was thinking of doing that. So part of me was, whenever I, want to go move on to another instrument, I need to allow it to be gone for a while just to feel, do I want this back? So it was nice because at the Garden you came out, got to see the La Fiesta Fusion, had a blast, and I can't remember if you just asked if like. I don't know, I think it was your mom or somebody was just saying, I want one of those. And I just instantly went, yeah, you can have it. Like, it's time. Like, I just kind of clicked in. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
Same day.
Yeah.
That's the deal on that movie. Yeah.
Are you playing? It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
The beach is never the same now, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Please
Now-
tell me you're gonna play it tonight, please.
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah.
a guarantee. Oh, yeah. He's
I'm
already
trying
got
to
it.
find where that note.
There's the
was. I
one
think
note.
it's-
So that was
I
the
think
one
it's this
catch. The one catch is that he came out of tune.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for me to map out how to play it because I closed my eyes and play, and then I would hit that and it would throw me off.
You would hit.
Yeah, it just but you can go underneath and bend it back. There's a way to kind of get it back, but oh boy, no.
That's like, yeah, that's kind of out of my pay grade. I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
You get paid?
No, I actually don't.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah. Maybe I'll learn it though.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could figure it
But
out.
yeah, leave it to you to learn how to make a handpan now.
I'm
Wild. Imagine.
Oh, I totally will. I will do it.
It's 2 sheets of metal. Honestly, it's like I could send you all the blueprints. I know the guys that have that.
Send me the blueprints.
I'll
I'll
send you
build a hand pan.
Oh my goodness.
I will do it.
Okay, next episode we'll have a hand pan.
Yeah. A handmade hand
Link in the
pan
description.
Yeah.
from Michael.
Dropbox.
I totally will. And you know I will.
That's lucid.
Yeah.
Cameron,
Yeah.
how about you, buddy?
I feel physically good.
So good.
I'm in like the best shape of my life, man. I'm gaining weight.
Yeah.
And like muscle weight, so I feel good. I feel very good.
Might I say that, like, you can tell, like, from an outsider, you can tell, not just like physically either, but when you started this, the amount of times you'd come into the living room in one night after eating something and go, Papa's full. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I never see him do it anymore.
I could eat more.
Yeah, I told you.
Things have changed. So yeah, I just didn't realize how little I was eating. Yeah, and I want to be physically strong. I'm not exactly sure why, like what my motivation is. I don't know if you guys
Instinct.
ever experienced something where you're obsessed over something or goal or something and you don't know why. Like I actually don't have any good reason that I can put into words why I'm like obsessed with like being strong. I think part of it might just be like I was a little brother, I was a scrawny little brother, pushed around all the time. So it might be that like I just like the idea of like someone looking at me and thinking like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that guy. Just it's like fulfills something in my childhood self that like I've always wanted to just like not be the little guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be that or just whatever.
Hey,
but
he's preaching to the choir. You know, I gotta make sure the wind doesn't pick up when I'm in. The window's got to be closed when the winds are starting.
yeah. And I play like hockey too, and I'm just like I'm the guy who parks in front of the net, you know, causing chaos, and the defenseman just like launches me. Like it doesn't take much for a guy to just launch me. So yeah, I'm just excited. Gained 17 pounds in like 3 months or something like that, something crazy. So
Planet Fitness.
yeah, so physically we are vibing. And in every other way, it's like hard to even answer that question because I have to answer it like I'm in a state right now and I'm supposed to account for like how I've been. I have no idea. Like it's things change every hour, every day. So answering that is tricky, but we're vibing. It's got to be good. Always counting my blessings. Always trying to be positive and trying to just be the best I can be. And yeah, one thing that I am very grateful for is like I don't think I hold any negative energy literally towards anybody else. A little bit towards myself. Like I'm hard on myself. That's probably my biggest weakness. But other than that, like I've cleansed myself of all like you know, grudges and blames and whatever towards the world or anybody. Like it took a long time to get there, but that's a nice place to be. And I heard recently, like I'm not gonna name any names, but I heard a friend recently say like just how resentful they were towards somebody, and for good reason, obviously. People do terrible things to people, right? So you have every reason to like hate someone, but yeah, I like that. Hating somebody is like, it really just hurts you no matter what, even if there is a good reason for it. And yeah, so that's one thing I noticed lately is I'm like, I feel free in that sense. Like, yeah, I love everybody. I love the world. Not that you accept everything, but you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Can I ask, like, do you have a specific practice that like got you to that point, or
it's
questions you ask yourself, or is it just a process of
I think you humble yourself. Like for me, I humbled myself and I realized like, oh, I'm no better than anybody. Because I think part of like holding a grudge or something implies that you're at a moral superiority or something. Like it's like, no, you're not. We are all on the same level, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just out of a place of humility where I'm just like, you look deep enough inside yourself and you go, oh, yeah, I'm capable of any sort of evil. Like really, what's like, it's just happenstance that I didn't end up doing evil things or whatever. But like, yeah. So I think that's kind of where it came from. But I don't know, probably a number of things. meditation is the biggest thing, obviously.
There it is.
Yeah.
All of that comes from meditation, because you just sit with yourself for long enough, and you go down corridors within yourself that you haven't been down, and you're like, whoa, didn't know this was a place inside of me. Holy cow. You know?
Well, a lot of people, I feel, aren't, not that they're not capable, but that they don't have the right tools to be like, oh, this blame that I'm putting onto someone else is actually me. Hey, it's me. I just have to dig deep enough for that. I have to go through the doors, through the portals, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's a good point too, is like you almost feel like you almost blame yourself for getting got or whatever, you know? Forgetting got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Getting
like
got.
Oh, they got me.
Oh,
Whoever
getting
that person
Getting
that did
got.
that thing, I hate them, but like also a part of me hates myself for falling into that, whatever that is.
I wonder what's like there's like certain thresholds, and like I kind of like call them guardians, you know, like emotions have certain gates that you pass through, like whether you start, I find that shame's like the kind of almost like lowest.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's level 1.
Guilt and shame vibe
Yeah.
on the same frequency. It's
You know,
like the lowest.
And I think Dr. Hawkins, he had a scale, and I always love kind of framing it in that way, as the will of power and the will of force. Force being like life-taking, and it takes just so much effort for anything to occur. And it always operates from other people drawing from it, versus power just kind of life-affirming. It's abundant in a way. And the gatekeeper towards stepping into that is courage, but the guardian is pride. And like it takes a lot of you to kind of recognize, well, this individual wronged me. I know the friend you're referring to, and you know, just that also stuck with me as well. Is just, and you're gonna live the rest of your life letting this individual have power over you, force over you for the rest of your life. Like they wronged you terribly at a vulnerable place. Like there's like you could go to the worst scenario what they did, meaning that they are continuing that cycle every hour, every day. Like they're not, like they've branded you. And forgiveness isn't really, to me, it's not like you're going, it never happened, and it's not going, what they did is permissible. It's really just like they put hooks into you, and you're just, it's not you removing them. It's almost like they dissolve from you, just like they're in you, but they're not pulling anymore. And it takes takes courage to really recognize that you put hooks in other people as well, that you're somebody may have brutalized you and you think you didn't do that to others, but it's, kind of gets there too. But I was going to ask, like, did your camera die?
Yeah, you're good. You can keep talking, but it's not going to get our voices for now. That's okay.
Okay. Well, I was gonna ask, like, do you find that is it easier to let go of what other people have done to you versus what you do to yourself? Like, let's say, like I forgive other people's actions, but is that also kind of a gatekeeper towards, everybody else, you can do as much horrors to me, I'll still forgive you, but every morning you're waking up and you're going, you tell yourself the same nasties that, you forgive them for doing to you, but you can't even let your own self do that. Mm-hmm. What do you think in terms of, I wonder if that's something that's universal, where it's harder to have that internal monologue, more forgiving versus, because I know there are many empathetics and people that are just, they are so connected to themselves that they don't have self-doubt or anything, but they're passive in that way. But I wonder if it's like a universal thing where everybody has that internal monologue. Yeah.
This is reminding me of the term, the good die young.
The good die young, yeah.
Yeah, the good people die young. The good people who are kind and, giving and caring towards other people, but are doing it from a place of fear and hatred for themselves. And that's how you kill yourself.
I got a question for you. Does that mean they're actually good?
No.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't have the capacity to defend their own beliefs or whatever it may be. That's a whole other trip.
That reminded me of a Hawaiian prayer. You guys may or may not be familiar of Ho'oponopono. Yeah, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. this certain practice I use for everything, but mostly when I eat meat, it's like, hey, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. It's being like, I know what I'm doing isn't, amazing.
Yeah.
I know what I did wasn't amazing. But I love you for what you were teaching me. Thank you. This goes for literally anything, for people, for yourself. I use it in like a lot of meditations where I'm like focusing on self-worth and stuff. So I think that's why I asked you if you had any certain practices that you used for forgiveness or like letting go of grudges and resentments and stuff. Cause
Yeah, I think thankfully I never really had big ones. I feel like we all have challenges, like universal challenges that kind of like, it's a pattern that's just like sticks with us for years and like kind of takes forever for us to like shake. And for me, it is like self-inflicted like blame and like having just an impossible standard for myself. And yeah, so that's kind of been my pattern. But when it really helps to like, what do you call it? Like when I say, oh, I'm doing really good, I've completely kind of let go of like blame on everybody else. It really gives me that space now to like work on my own stuff, and not constantly
Can I ask
point
you
the finger.
another question?
Yeah.
Do you think you've reached the bottom of the layers? Like, do you think you're like completely rid? Or do you think that you've reached, a certain layer of the onion and there's more underneath that you'll have to discover later down the line when, someone brings something up or...
Rid of what, sorry?
Like resentment.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Towards others, I think so,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm reaching, things about myself and memories that I have that like, it's such a weird concept to like have a thought that you don't want to touch. It's in there. It's like, it's touching you already. It's too late, but you still don't want to go there. There's plenty of those still within me that I'm like working through, But meditation it's just a daily sort of like getting used to that space and being comfortable with what's there and recognizing patterns, coping mechanisms, whatever things that we do in life to like run away from those things, like noticing those times when you start feeling that. So what was your question? You had a good question and I forget. I was busy switching cards.
I think I was going on the lines of you were saying that you can let go of other people's actions towards you. Is it the same with your own actions towards yourself?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I followed up with, is it universal that we all have a internal monologue that is, Don Juan called it the predator, and that's constantly like,
Mm-hmm.
The analogy is that we're like, it's almost like there's a part of our psyche that is over dominating internally, and it pretty much hides itself. When you think you've caught it, let's say it's a fish, and you think you've caught this ego or this identity, it then with a net, it then becomes the net, and you think you've captured it, and you eat the fish, and you go, I'm rid of that, but it's now the net that catches the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then back to, it's almost like then the analogy was that just like we keep animals in pens for slaughter, for future, we let them roam, so to speak, and then when the time's right, they're just right there for the plucking. It's similar to, the self-doubts and these angers and these emotions. It's like there's a part of us that will render us like almost domesticated with this idea that we can, we have our capacities, we think about things, opinions, sympathies, antipathies, but it's at any point it kind of takes over, and then it like leaves you like you've been eaten in a way. And I'm wondering, is that, I guess I'll reel it back to the question, like, is that like universal for everybody? I'm always wondering, is that just like we're all planted with that, and that's the hero's journey, is figuring out how to unravel that dragon, so to speak, be peace with that, figure it out. And then likewise, is external people and stimulus and actions, is that easier to let go of? And then you have this other thing that's just like same like, does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the pattern I think is probably universal, because like, yeah, I think the pattern is very universal in that like something takes over, and it's almost like, yeah, just a veil over your whole existence, and you just can't see a way out or whatever. You don't see any other way. It's like, no, this person, I hate, like, there's no other way. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to live in a world where this person could be accepted for whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then
That's a statement.
Oh yeah, well, and then vice versa, where like you think of your like my situation where I'm more inward and I'm more like, no, like I knew better. Like no, like I that's I'm fundamentally flawed. I'm fundamentally not okay. There's you know what I mean? And you just start like beating up on yourself rather than beating up on that person. It's the same kind of. It feels like maybe the same sort of thing, and perhaps the Jungian idea of like the hero's journey, like the hero dying at the end, and being reborn or whatever. Maybe that's like that humbling experience, whether it be like ego death or what, I don't know.
Yeah, and I was wondering, the main question to me is, it's like, is that something that it's not an enemy, like those, like having that thought, like how can I live in a world with somebody's like this, and the same thought of like how can I do this, like I'm such an da-da-da-da. Is that thought, that entity, whatever that is that compels us to think and act in those ways, is that almost like a principle that's almost, it's like it does these little tests, and it makes you feel this way or think that way, and there's a part of your essence that knows that it's kind of like this game, and through lack of disciplines or integrities or just giving into pleasures, it kind of feeds into that narrative, and you just are now part of this story as a part of the myth or a part of being the character. I don't know how to describe it beyond that, but I think the main thread is that stimulus, like it's like almost like it's a helpful ally disguised as a demon. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I see that. It's definitely, it's headed in the right direction in a way. You know, it's like it's calling something out and saying something needs to be changed, something needs to improve. I think if I didn't have that, I would not be, wouldn't be gaining weight, wouldn't be going to the gym, wouldn't be getting better. You know, that's for sure. Something has to look at your present situation and be like, and pick it apart and point it and reveal what's wrong for you to want to, you know, do something about it. So it definitely moves you. Yeah, it's all about, I guess, not letting it completely possess you, and like just having a balance with it all, you know? Because the opposite, like imagine not having that at all. Like, would you move? Would you do anything? Like, would it's like
feels like evaporating when you think like that. You know?
Well, it's like, what's the point of living if you didn't die? Like, what's the point of beauty if what's the point of light without dark? It's like, I know these are like very simplistic ways of putting it, but it all kind of points to the idea that, you know, there's purpose, there's meaning, and with that there needs to be a conflict. There needs to be something that doesn't fit fully.
It's nature.
Yeah.
Or it's in orbit, or everything's pulling in every direction, and it's meant to be that way. That's why we're like, when people are like, here's this problem in this world and we need to fix it. I'm like, you're never gonna fix it. You're gonna chase after this idea of fixing, like whether it be, you know, I hate to say it, homophobia, racism, like this is, since we've existed, this has been a thing, and it hasn't been fixed, and we're so well advanced in everything else. Why wouldn't we be fixed in this? It's because it's never going to be fixed, because it's nature. There's always going to be those pulls. Like if all of us thought like, we accept everyone, and you know, that would be would it even be like a perfect world? But also like, those are the two pulling things. Without one, there wouldn't be the other. And if there was just one, like, there would just be another thing. Like, if all humans accepted each other, then aliens are going to come down, and then humans are going to be like, fuck the aliens, we hate the aliens. You know? It's just going to be one thing after the other. It doesn't matter if we fix the problem, because the root cause is never going to be fixed. So balance. There's always got to be that pull.
Yeah, that's a heavy thing to go to, because it's almost like going, the word balance it's like I hear that almost like it's like almost a contract. Like if there's a bunny, there's going to be a fox.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's, and then and you're mentioning just like there's. It's weird that everything has that. It's like the Hermetic laws. If there's an up, there's a down. All those kind of things. You can't have depth in conversation without those superficial moments. You know, to actually like kind of start what's happening. But yeah, can you imagine what it would be like if everybody is accepted?
There's like a, sorry, go ahead.
No, honestly, because like then that would mean that is a song.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's so interesting navigating it all because like there's a ineffable, like almost tragic, dark abyss once you reach the end of it where, like you said, nothing matters. It's like it's not like whatever you're.
That's not true.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like,
that's true.
like it won't be fixed. That's for sure. It's like you could dedicate your life to just like love on planet Earth,
And people do.
and they do.
And it works for them.
And it's like, well, there's like a Bob Marley song. I forget which one it is. Like many more will have to die. Many more will have to suffer. Don't ask me why. I don't know. You know. But yeah, you know that song.
Don't
Yeah.
ask me why.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell no lie.
Yeah.
Well,
Naturalistic. There it is.
Yeah.
Well, you got the opposite of that. The people who dedicate their lives to loving and to being the best version of themselves that they can be, and really not having a negative bone in their body. You've got the people who are completely numb and who are completely miserable, and who, you know, whether being aware of it or not, are just their whole life so miserable and so hateful towards everything.
Yeah, I've met some like cognizant nihilistic people, you know, who like kind of really can't accept any idea that they can't grasp logically. Like, it's like, I'm not going to go there. That's not real. If I can't wrap my head around it, it's not. And I have that within me big time. Like, I have like a cynic that's like, everything's bullshit. And then another part of me is just like, got it, like stay faithful, stay like everywhere you turn, there's like, it's weird. It's like there's the evidence of God, and then there's equal in the physical world evidence that goes against the idea of God. You know, there's like, you can look at both. And yeah, I think naturally we're physical beings. We're going to be materialist and focus on what we can see, touch, feel, hear, and taste, and experience and observe. And so, yeah, we're all more or less, what's the word? We're going to lean towards that in general, like, anyways.
That's been a big theme for me lately.
Yeah.
Just being human.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
It's
what the
wild,
hell?
bro. It's wild.
It really is. Because, like, I feel like I had a conversation with a friend, and it really kind of helped me, you know, anchor myself down to earth. I think it's very easy for me to kind of just float in this, like, I don't know even what you call it, spiritual area. Kind of being like, oh, or I feel this way because of this pattern, and I'm looking at this person, and I can, you know, tell that they're a mirror for me because X, Y, Z. Like, that's just my brain all the time. And then I remember during a psychosis episode that I had a couple years ago.
Classic.
Holy moly! Everything, the music I listened to, the things I put in my body, all of it was toxic. It was waste, and it was like I couldn't listen to any music. I couldn't eat anything but fruits and veg, and even that, I'm like, I taste the chemicals. They're trying to kill me. Threw away my glasses. All of these things, and you know, now I'm here, and sometimes those mindsets will come up, but then also it's like, and what are you going to do about it? You can only do so many things. You are a human being. You're going to like the music you like, you know, you're going to have these certain desires and pleasures that appeal to you because you're human, and you have instincts because you are an animal. Like, it all, being human.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's a very,
what do you feel, Q? What does that bring up for you?
No, I'm just teasing. When you're an animal, and I've been like, That's come up a couple times actually. And,
There's layers.
Yeah, no, I know. It's, I'm just teasing. But did you have some sort?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think we obviously stand out in the animal kingdom, in a very very big way. We're making flutes.
The zoo documentary. We're making flutes.
Targeted me.
No, but like I really that's one thing that I can like really ground myself on is like, yes, I'm an animal, sure, but I'm in a position like a very very I feel like a very very important position being human. Like I have dominion over my space and plants and friendships and all these, like I my actions matter, like they do things in the world, like, and I've seen that in a negative way big time, and I've seen that in a positive way so much in the last like 5 years, just like how much you can change people's lives just by like being the best you can be, like just starting there like actually makes the world a better place, more than you can imagine. Even just me going to the gym, it's like Tina has a membership, Cedric has a membership, and Robin has a membership.
Because of you.
Yeah, it's like, what? So because I go, 5 people now go. It's like just little things like that. Yeah. So, you know, there's a just such a profound purpose and meaning to being human, yeah, I don't. And I was thinking about something earlier, which was oh man, I'm trying to remember what it
Joe
was.
Dispenza.
No. No. It was really just about the whole nihilism thing, and now I have that perspective, but I just like, it's like It's Gotta Be Good, the title of the show, and how that's something that you have to decide. Like you can't just coast about life and happen to land on It's Gotta Be Good world. Like it's not gonna happen. You're like, the world is extremely chaotic. You're dropped in the woods, like, and you don't know what you're doing. You're gonna get poison ivy. You're gonna fall into thorns. The forest will eat you, and use you for fuel. Like, there's something that we're supposed to do, an action that we're supposed to take. And so, as much as I had gotten into like the letting go and going with the flow of things, I realized no, I'm also in a position where I have to like be the king of the castle in some respect. Like quite literally, I've been experiencing my body in that way where I'm like, holy shit, I am the king of this castle. Like all these beings rely upon me, sitting on the throne, making choices for the kingdom. Am I gonna make the right choices? Going to the gym, drinking good water and eating good food and getting enough sleep, all this stuff is like, you're making the right choices. So anyways, I'm on like a whole tangent, but yeah.
Well, I like that transition because it's one thing to go like from the animal hierarchy, but I go, we're not animal, and we're not. It's not just like it's the one full. I know that's a simple way, but it's like we're more plant, we're more mycelium, we're more mineral and rock than we are a monkey. You know, for example, that's, to me, we really zoom in on aspects of what we're capable of, and I like that perspective where it's like, well, if there has been in history dominions, kingdoms, the idea that if you are in a place where you are bringing blessings to a people or to your friends, to even your body, I kind of like the definition for me with king is somebody who warms the room with their presence. That when you enter into a space, the entire room, the country, or whoever it is, are in a place of harmony now. It's not because your will is upon them, it's because it's their will being placed within you, and you're activating that with them, for them, in one gesture, or one, it's just like if you're saying, there's so many faculties in my body that rely on me to make these decisions. I can eat something that is gonna put me out for the next week, that's one thing. But then once I do that, I shame myself, or it's like almost as if I were in the kingdom. I decide I'm not gonna let the farmers harvest this week. I'm gonna let the things just go to waste because a part of the town was mocking me for something. Let's let them starve. And then once that goes to waste, and then they start to starve, and then there's now more conflict, and then you're hungry now, and then you start blaming the farmers for not harvesting. It's kind of like getting upset with yourself because you ate the wrong things, and then you're creating another turmoil. And that's kind of going back to just that, whatever that mindset or whatever that gift we have that is constantly creating these conflicts. I kind of go back to like there really isn't any chaos going on. Like it's all these theaters. Like everything's perfectly, to me, I just go, there's nothing out of place. And I find that that's where the chaos happens, where you want to find a way out of that order or individuate yourself away from, like for example, I don't want to be in certain institutions or certain mindsets that our culture has on what it means to be a man or to be a woman or to be somebody that plays music. Like there's some things I just want to rebel against that. And then I kind of find the more I do that, the further hell I find. And the instant I start going, all right, like what are these standard and archetypes and these things, it starts to flow. And then there's different parts of you that start to activate that are so within your nature, but individual to you, but they express themselves through something that is so kind of cookie cutter. Does this make sense? And I kind of go that's where a lot of nihilism hits, and narcissism and anger is when it's the me show, and like I'm gonna figure out for myself, and you're placing your life on knowledge or on information or things that are getting away from this trust that things are laid out perfectly for you, and you just kind of have to like take it. And similar to like if you're a squirrel in the woods, there's food abundant. You just gotta crack the walnut and eat it. And there's no shame of drain. No, the tree's gonna constantly lay its fruits. I guess we're that, like, trying to think of where the thread started, but it was mainly on, I think just on the chaos, on things kind of being like just animalistic. And I go, I don't know, like there's so much drive and purpose, and it's all perfectly precise for that. And like you may not be able to figure out the problems like yourself, but they're already figured out. And I think thinking that you're the one that, even if you solve the problem to poverty or whatever, thinking that it was your actions or your will or your equation that came up with that, I'm like, that misses the point. There were so many things that kind of like destined you to that spot, and it's always beyond, way beyond your caliber. Not because you weren't good enough or not because you weren't potential enough, but like you were perfect for that moment right then. And because you allowed, you held your kingdom, so to speak, and you followed through. You didn't deviate, and if you did, you didn't hold down. You wavered in.
There was one thing that you said, and I don't know
That
if it
makes
was.
sense. That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm on. Yeah. The one thing you said like last summer or something, we were getting into like the king and the warrior and the
Magician lover.
Yeah. So you were talking about how the king wears the crown, and the crown is like an antenna to the like. So one of the images that I have.
And queen as well.
Yeah. King and queen. Yeah. Well, I say king because I'm male.
Yeah,
so when I
naturally.
think of king, I think of like But
Like copper.
yeah. So one of the images I have when I'm meditating is like you're going through the energy centers and you're building yourself up, and I'm building my castle, so to speak. And I at the very top would be the crown, and that would be for me like I don't have like an image of God. I don't have like I can't even barely put words into it. If you've ever read the Tao, the first verse discusses the problem with putting a name on God, putting a name on whatever. But I just I try to define it as like the highest good that I can possibly conceive of as a human and beyond. Like there's way more than I could even imagine from my puny little perspective. But if I, as the king of this castle, can have my focus upon that and have that be the foundation for the kingdom, and everybody is all kind of working together. And then I thought of the root of the word religion is to bind together, right? And so like that's the thing that binds all the pieces of the puzzle together, so that, yeah, like you said, like the farmers are and the guards and the bricklayers and everybody else all put together to create this thriving, abundant kingdom where abundance multiplies. So that's, I just wanted to mention that little equation, because I don't just think of myself as the king and then that's all. It's like the king is actually the humblest of them all in some sense. You know, they're actually the ones who are the most servant of them all.
Yeah.
In a way.
The king isn't just about royalty, it's also about actuating characteristics of the lover, characteristics of the magician, of the warrior. It's not just, they're not separate. That's for that psychology. And on top of that, the king or queen, these are positions that they actively were not wanting. A lot of these individuals, I mean, it's interesting because I'll go off the rails for a lot of, if I was a historian, they'd be like, no, you're wrong. But there's a lot of cases.
At least the archetype. If we're just,
the archetype,
talking about the archetype.
But even
right?
even individuals, I truly, like, a lot of their lives leading up to being in that place, they didn't want that. They didn't want to be the first person everybody wanted to kill right away, and to claim that. And there's a story of like a servant goes to the king and says, or the queen, it's universal, and they're like, I would love to know what it's like to be a king for a day. Just one day, just 1 hour. Like, could you show me what that's like? And he says, yeah, I can show you what that's like. Be back here in an hour. So the servant leaves. He's like, okay, like, and I'll give you a taste of what it's like. So the servant goes, comes back, and the king is in common clothes, and the servant opens the door, and he's like, put the crown on your head, take my robe, have a seat. And the guy's like, really? He's like, yeah, have a seat and ask me for anything, or call the servants. You can have whatever you want for an hour or for a day, just anything, So he's like, this is amazing. So he goes to the chair, grabs a seat from the king of the castle, and he looks up and is like instantly mortified. And above his head is a dagger holding above it with a single horsehair, holding a dagger over his head. And he's like, I don't want this. He's like that can hit my head. Like, I could die. And he's like, that's what it's like being a king every day, or a queen. Like, and most of the times they don't last very long. And there was a point to be made. There was a engineer describing some of these kingdoms and castles. They almost act like nuclear reactors. Some of the stones that they were laying in there's literally certain kind of energy nodes. And this is interesting for like Egyptian talk, but there were literally stories of kings and queens. People would have to roll out the carpets literally so that they wouldn't ground, so that they would stay into that kind of resonance. And they had to have veils over their eyes. If they looked a peasant on the eye or anybody, people would go insane. There was so much psychic, cultural energy placed into the psyche of that individual that people would lose their minds if like a king were to look upon you or anything. Like they wouldn't know how to handle that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's easy for us to go, well, that's kind of stupid, but there was no distractions back then. Everything was kind of, you lived in your zone, and if suddenly like a god came right to you or whatever the idea, like you would melt literally. So they had to be isolated. They were in chambers and they were like put away, almost like they were a nuclear reactor. Like their energies were so extreme for a lot of people they couldn't leave. Mm-hmm. That would drive them mad.
Yeah, and I would argue there are states and energies within you that would
same kind of thing
would completely destroy you if you.
Yeah, and just to wrap it, the whole point with a lot of those capacities is that the kings and queens that made it and were a longevity and truly the kingdoms would want these kings and queens to live, because they would find ways to actively make sure that their whole domain was peaceful, there was abundance, there was a flow. People didn't want to take on those responsibilities. One, because they weren't educated. These people were completely brought up for that. Like, it was a destined kind of thing. it was a lot of responsibility. They couldn't leave to go anywhere. Everything was predetermined. Like it's a bit of a shitty life. Sure, things would pass to you, but you couldn't just make your day. It was upon you, and you couldn't escape that. And on top of that, the determination of how good you were to reign depend on all the people you allowed to suggest to you a council. So a lot of the times it wasn't kings or queens making the decisions. It was usually the midwife, or it was all the people in there that would then become representations of their parts of their psyche, and they needed court jesters to keep them in check, and they knew that their king or queen was going mad the moment they started killing the jokers. And I just find that, I don't know, I'm sympathetic to those stories, and I know that these stories and these myths culturally kind of bear a sense of, well, that's one identity of life, and that's imposing upon cultures and whatever. But I find that if you go to anybody and you ask about certain stories, that's typically like an easy start for a lot of people is king and queen. It's not, and then you can translate that to different cultures if you wanted, but I find that those characters and those mindsets relate strongly to what we can attain, but it's very easy for us to see ourselves as the commoner and the peasant or the cobbler, because it's almost more noble to be underneath that boot and you're the underdog, versus, well, if you're the king or the queen, your every action, the way that you breathe, the way that you look at somebody determines the rest of their life.
You're responsible.
Do you really want any of that in your life? Most of the time, no.
Well, there are different levels, and on one level, yeah, you are a king, you are a queen,
Well, that's foundation. That's why everyone resorts to that, because that is just pure foundation right there.
Yeah.
King and queen.
Yeah. Yeah. But on another level, you are just like this tiny thing who has like a job to do, and do it well.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that in a lot of ways. Like play music.
Yeah, no,
do it really well.
That's exactly what I'm like. That's exactly like when you're literally given your domain and you just want to run off into the forest with Robin Hood or whatever. No, they're wasting now because of that. And then it's weird. It's like, I don't know, that I guess.
Yeah.
I know. I could go further.
Oh, I love myths and I love archetypes. We can go off, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to all the future.
The definition.
You guys need to get into numbers.
I know.
Every time I think, like, you guys talk about like myths and archetypes, and it's its own thing, and it's amazing.
Well, I got my numerology too.
Yeah, mystical numerology.
And that's
man.
fun stuff. Yeah. Well, it's the same. It's the same thing.
It's just literally the same thing, but that's what goes on in my mind when you guys talk about this. You go, king, I'm like, 1.
Yeah.
You're like, queen, 2.
Yeah.
You talk about all these things, and I'm like placing numbers on these things, and you're like, oh, well, when the king does this and he's not supposed to, I'm like, oh, that's a spiral, and all these things, and I appreciate when you guys talk about this, because I can relate to it in my own way, but it's like, it's completely different, but it's also not at the same time.
Well, it's like if like you're talking about, but then you can go versus. But if you just go, it's in the same. It's kind of like this. That's the story, but that's where it can go. And I don't know. I like it. I find that there's so much wanting to make things unique, but it's in the same.
It's the same thing. It's just the way what certain thing resonates with certain people, and how people can process it. Yeah,
and respecting that cultural differencing and that processing, and that kind of gets rough because I just find I accept all the terrors and horrors that come with life and people, because like, who am I to really think that it's wrong? The mistreatments of people, whatever the case may be, it led to a place that we can't fathom. And it's not I just think it's not my place, our place, I'll be bold to say, as a people or as a species or whatever, as a gender, I don't know, just to see that there is a final point or an outcome, like everything always continues. Even if something goes extinct, there's a continuation of that. in ways that you can't fathom. Just like sound never ends. Like the moment your words leave your lips, it goes into infinite decibels that are beyond our reception, and it whirls off into infinity at light speed. It doesn't end. And if you don't believe me, that's a study from John Stewart Reed. Highly recommend that guy. But to me, it's, I'll even bring it back to that. Like every word and sound you make never ends.
Kind of goes back to like what you were saying a while ago, where you were saying, "Who am I?"
That's my model. That's my model.
Who am I to assume?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah, we've been going. Y'all want to end it with a jam? You want to play that thing?
Yeah, I love how you're like, short 30-minute. How long has it been?
2 hours? I don't know, hour and a half?
Really?
I have no idea.
That's amazing.
Hour
No,
and a
you
half, I
can't
think.
put us in a room and be like, half an hour done.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I'm opening up this tuning for that.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's all good. We got the room mic.
I gotta have my takeoff hat.
Bye.